On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I'm Madison Reyes.
And we are going on tour.
We are going on tour, you guys.
For our book.
For our book, and then maybe for other stuff.
Yeah. Our debut novel, Obituary, The Big Hot Book of Death, is coming to a bookshelf near you on August 20th. And you can pre-order a copy at prh.com/obituary. Or if you want to come see us in person, we have several places for you to go to. We're talking Los Angeles. We're talking San Francisco. We're talking Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're talking Houston. We're talking Austin. And you can check out tickets and information at obituarypodcast.com. We have everything linked there. It'll say like the event name. Just click on event info. There's going to be a link. You're going to follow it. The book is your ticket, I think, to these events. I know I've already seen some questions pouring in of like, well, what happens if I already bought the book or this or that? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you because it's essentially the same cost as like a ticket would be. So you just get the book. So give it to someone you love.
That's true. Very true.
Or someone that you hate.
Hey, even truer.
Highlight one of the negative obituaries in there and
say, do you want this to be you, bitch?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. But really, I am so excited. I have never been to Tulsa, Oklahoma before.
I've never been to Oklahoma at all.
I'm so excited.
I am so excited. I think mostly for Oklahoma.
Okay, here's why I'm excited about all of them.
Well, yes.
Los Angeles, we haven't gotten to do an event here since our Irvine show, which was our first ever live show.
No, and we're doing it at Book Soup, and everybody who we've told is like, Book Soup is the best bookstore here.
Yes, they're like, it's iconic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm very excited to go.
Surprise, surprise. We haven't been in the bookstore.
I know.
But I'm excited to see it.
You know where I'm really excited to go?
Where?
To the Presbyterian Church.
I'm really excited for that one. We love Texas.
We do.
We love it. Also, though, I'm really excited for San Francisco because hometown.
Hometown, yes.
So excited for that. But
excited for it all. It's going to be so fun.
I'm really, really pumped.
We're doing it.
And we have some surprises. This isn't your average book signing, okay? We've got some things up our sleeves.
Yes, we do. That I actually have to go to my parents this week for.
Yeah, and I'm already mortified.
Yeah, me too.
But it's going to be so funny, hopefully. What else? Okay.
Wait, can I make a retraction really quick from last week?
Retraction.
Remember how we said that we were told that Luke Perry's mushroom suit did not work?
Yes.
And that we were going to look into it? Well, I was looking into it and cannot find anything about it. Cannot find that it didn't work. Cannot find anything. So if you guys know anything, please send it our way.
Oh, tell us.
Because all I can find is the daughter saying that it was great.
Really?
Yes.
Well, get Andrea on the horn.
I know. We got to call Andrea.
See, here we are, once again, spreading false news.
Once again, and it won't be the last.
We're not fact checkers. Well, let's talk about yesterday because our trainer texted us
Oh my God.
the other day. And he's like, okay, listen, the gym has to close early for something. Can you guys do Thursday? Or would you guys mind training at the same time? And we're like, we would love to train at the same time.
Love to.
And it was actually really...
I liked it.
I really liked it too because we didn't even get to talk, but I just...
No.
I think we're such comfort people for each other that it's like nice to just know you're there.
Comfort people, absolutely. But also, if you're going to slack, I'm going to slack. If you're not going to slack, I'm not going to slack. You know, like I feel like we both hold each other accountable too.
Uh-huh.
So I really liked it. It was fun.
Yeah. It was a good time. And
I
then,
mean, at one point you were like curling some heavy weights and I was swinging a kettlebell and we were both drenched in sweat. Just like, what the fuck?
dude, we talk about it though. And if you guys are thinking about doing something for yourself, we talked about it recently, but like, we're always like, thank God we randomly had the decision that day to like call a trainer.
The day I called you and was like, I'm not doing well mentally. And you're like, okay, let's go for a walk. And we went for a walk.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, I want to get a trainer. I'm going to sign up. And I was like, all right, I'll do it too.
And we did. But thank God. Now it's been almost a year. We both feel so much better.
So many aspects of life are different
Uh-huh.
in a good way.
Yeah. I feel like it totally changed like our lifestyles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is good.
Really good.
We needed it.
We fucking needed it, man.
But yesterday it was a hardcore workout. And then, well, we went to, we went to Chipotle and got food after. And then you were like, okay, should we go to the Goodwill? And I was like, yeah. We went and we were there just like looking around. We just like to look at things. And we both really liked the book section at this Goodwill.
Uh-huh.
And so we're going through it. But on our way over to the book section, there was like this little zebra print phone. I was like, oh my God, why are they selling this phone? And I like was picking it up, playing with it. Fully someone's phone. They came and got it. They're like, that's my phone. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know.
Sorry.
I thought it was for sale. Also, this picture just popped up on my iPad. I can't even show you guys. I will show you us at our ugliest form, but this one.
That was like from a week ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But we have goggles on.
We have goggles on in my pool. And
Because we are 5 years old and we made Cisco throw coins in the pool and we just put our goggles on and.
well, my hair, so I have a mullet, obviously, but
But you have Betty bangs when they're down.
If I get my hair wet, I just have like little Betty bangs. And you look like fucking Dog the fucking bounty hunter.
I know. I look like Beth. My tooth is chipped.
We should be Beth
and Dog.
We should be Beth and Dog for Halloween.
I would absolutely.
Let's do that for Halloween.
Absolutely do that.
Okay.
And what is that beautiful picture of you up at the top?
That is from New York Fashion Week. Oh, that's actually a slideshow. I'm doing an ad for a face spray on Instagram.
Oh, wow.
Wow, lots of poses.
Very cool.
I don't know what's in here. Oh, that's us.
Oh, God. Pre-gym.
Remember when I had the iPad on stage? My camera opened, so I took a picture.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you guys, I am an iPad kid now.
Yeah.
I've been so into my iPad lately. I feel like it's the most underrated thing. It goes everywhere with me. I fucking love it. I don't even need my phone.
Because you got the little pen.
I got an Apple Pencil. So a lot of our job, I mean, for both shows, well, all the shows, you'll know more about that soon.
Oh.
We can't say anything, but all
We can't? When will this come out?
before then.
Okay.
Hint, another thing's coming because we can't sit still. Actually, this one, we'll explain it more when we can actually talk more about it.
A year in the making, yeah.
It's been 2 years in the making, a year since it's been ready to hit the world. But we are constantly taking notes. And so I was like, it was when we were recording our audiobook, the director had a pen and an iPad. And I was like, that looks really convenient. So I started taking all my notes. Like if I'm sitting watching a documentary or something, I sit and just write my notes.
Okay, I want one. I'll find some weird app where I'm drawing or something, doing weird shit I already know.
Just buy the real one. That's the only thing I'll tell you.
Okay.
Don't buy a knockoff, yeah.
Okay.
Love the Apple Pencil. Big fan. But also, okay, so we did our workout class yesterday. I got home, and then last night, every Wednesday, I go
On a date night.
This date night ended up, I was asked to go to this like yoga,
Candlelit.
restoration yoga.
Yeah.
It's called.
First of all, you told me you're like, I'm going to a yoga class. I guess you're in the dark and they put you into shapes.
Yes.
That's what you told me.
That was my like relayed description. And it was real. That's what happened.
Okay.
You go and it was incredible. I'm not a yoga person. Like, I don't know how many of you guys can tell this. Not good at sitting still. You know this about me.
Yeah.
I cannot sit still for anything. You and our friend Chris were on the phone with me when I was like getting ready yesterday. And both of you are like, you can't sit through a movie. How are you supposed to sit through a 75-minute
Yeah.
class? It was the best thing Probably my favorite like class thing that I've ever gone to. It was at this place. It was super nice. And you like go in, they give you blankets. I saw online there was blankets involved. I'm like, gross. But they were nice. Like it was, everything was nice. You like literally lay down in certain poses.
Okay.
But it's not like you're holding yourself up or anything, so it's not hard at all. You just are positioning your body different ways, and you move like every 5 or so minutes, and they're just playing like meditating music, and it's dark, and it was the most, I almost fell asleep every single time. I'll talk more about it later in my coffin spinner, but yeah. It was really interesting.
Oh, it's going to link to the coffin spinner?
Not really, but I think I made a note about it.
Okay.
I'll find a way to work that one in, but
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love that. Well, that was really so nice. And you told me all about it, and it does sound incredible.
Uh-huh.
But do you have any assholes?
That's the transition.
I
just heard you work that up twice.
I know.
I do, Madison. And this first one says, oh my God, wait, no, I actually have a really good second one. But this first one says, am I the asshole for not forgiving my mom for stealing my inheritance? And off the bat, I'm going to say, nope.
Yeah.
I, 28 male, recently found out about a huge betrayal from my mom, 36. And I don't know what to do.
Wait, he's 28.
The mom's 56. Sorry.
Oh, wait, what?
The betrayal. And I don't know what to do. Okay, so he's 28, found out about a betrayal from his mom, 56.
Wait, you look so cool holding your pen.
Ooh. So, my grandparents were really great people, and they worked hard all their lives and saved a lot of money. They weren't rich, but they managed to save enough to leave some money for me and my siblings, 30 female and 25 male, when they passed away 5 years ago. My mom was the executor of the will. Not long after my grandparents died, she told us there were unexpected debts and expenses that needed to be paid off first. We trusted her, she's our mom after all, and we didn't really question her too much because we were grieving. But over the years, I noticed my mom's lifestyle got way better.
Okay.
She paid off her mortgage, bought a new car, and went on some fancy vacations. I thought maybe she came into some money or got really good at managing her finances. A few months ago, I was helping my parents clean out their attic, and I found some old documents that showed the actual amount of the inheritance. It was way more than what my mom told us. I was so confused and felt really betrayed. After thinking about it for a while, I confronted her, and at first she denied everything, but then she broke down and admitted it. She used a big chunk of the inheritance for herself. She said she did it for the family. She planned to pay us back eventually, and she used the money to make sure we had a stable home. She even said the vacations were to relieve the stress and grief of losing her parents. I'm devastated. It's not just about the money, it's the lying, the breach of trust, and the fact that she put herself first. My siblings have been more forgiving. They say she's our mom, she did what she thought was best, and we should move on. They think I'm being too harsh and that holding on to this anger will only hurt me, but I just can't let it go. Every time I think about it, I get so angry and feel betrayed. It's messed up my relationship with her to the point where I haven't talked to her since the confrontation. Family gatherings are super awkward now with my siblings and dad trying to make peace. So, Reddit, am I the asshole for not forgiving my mom and refusing to speak to her? My siblings think I'm overreacting, but I can't shake this feeling of betrayal. What should I do?
I'd be pissed.
I'd be pissed too, and you're well within your right to be pissed. If they're cool, then they're cool. But just because your siblings feel a certain way about a situation doesn't mean you have to.
Right. That's true. Be mad, be upset,
Uh-huh.
go through all those emotions, and then you have to figure out your relationship with your mom moving forward, because you can't not, I mean, you can not talk to her for the rest of your life. I would have regrets. I don't know.
Weigh out what's worth more to you, or see if you can have a conversation, I guess, of like, how are you going to pay this back?
Yeah. The mom seems shady, though.
I
I
would-
get wanting to have a better household for the kids, all of that, but the vacations to relieve stress from the grief.
No.
No.
Sorry, you don't need a vacation to get through grieving.
No.
Sorry. Okay, but this next one, Madison, is so specific to us.
Okay.
Would I be the asshole for recording myself locking my front door every morning?
Oh, God, You should see all the videos we have.
Hi, longtime lurker, first time poster. I'll try to keep this brief. I have pretty heavy anxiety about several things, like if I left my stove on or door unlocked.
Ding, ding, ding.
Since I use the public transit system, I can't just go back anytime I panic, so I've been recording myself turning off the stove and locking my doors every morning before work. It's worked really well, and I send it to myself via my backup Facebook so I have stamps and dates, so my anxiety gets appeased. Well, recently my neighbor approached me and told me she thought it was creepy of me to record my own door every morning. I did explain to her, but she just told me I needed to stop, and it's about her privacy. Now I'm confused, especially since she got really upset near the end of the conversation and told me she'd report me to my landlord if she caught me doing it again. Would I be the asshole if I keep doing it? It really does keep me from getting all panicky on a public bus. I don't understand her deal with it.
Your neighbor is the fucking asshole.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That makes me so heated because you and I both
Yeah.
have really bad OCD when it comes to that. When it comes to locking doors, closing windows, the stove, the faucet, all of that.
Don't throw the faucet in there. I have this weird paranoia where I think my house is going to be flooded. We will be in the car backing out of my driveway, and I'm like, I got to go check my shower upstairs really quick.
Oh, yeah.
But it's always when...
Wait. A new OCD thing that has popped up for me.
What?
So our AC went out. We have central AC. It went out. There's people that are going to be coming in a week to fix it, but it's been so fucking hot around here. And so Spencer had a few portable ACs from his old place that he doesn't need anymore. So he let me borrow them for our house. The one that goes in the window, I don't sleep with because I'm afraid that it's going to fall out in the middle of the night and the dogs are going to leave.
It's not going to happen.
Okay, well, I pull it out every night.
Every night you pull that out?
I pull it out every night. And then I have to put it in a different room because it spilled some like water out of it, which is normal,
I
right?
think the dog's going to lick it up and get sick.
Yeah, I was like, is it coolant? Is it whatever?
What you can do is there's 2 slots on the top of it that you can nail it. It's so easy to nail it. And
Okay.
it won't come out.
Okay. Anyway, that person is an asshole.
The neighbor's an asshole.
The neighbor's an asshole.
What the fuck are you doing, weird bitch neighbor?
Uh-huh.
You can't have someone recording their door.
Also-
She's not recording your door. She's recording their door. What is so fucking weird about you? Weirdo. What are you doing?
What are you trying to hide? Also,
Uh-huh.
if somebody she's recording her own door. What about every single person who has a Ring camera or a Blink camera?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, you know what I would do? I'm putting up a camera.
I'm putting up a camera
I'm putting up a camera at the door all the time.
And I'm actually going to check it and I'm going to talk to you about your fucking weird behavior.
Yeah, and I'm calling the
bitch.
landlord, bitch.
Yeah, I am.
Sorry.
I am.
Yeah, I'm calling the landlord.
Yeah.
I'm calling the landlord, babe.
We're calling the landlord.
We're calling the landlord, babe.
Yeah.
Understand?
You're a bitch and you need to open the DSM-5
Yeah.
and look up OCD and then you need to go diagnose yourself because you're a rude bitch.
Bitch. Anyways, do you have a listener email for us this
I
week?
do have a listener email.
Okay.
It says, hey, y'all. I have been a cult babe since Mikey came on to talk about John Benet Ramsey.
Jesus, that was like
I liked that episode
years
a
ago.
lot,
And
though.
actually, I just had dinner with her
Yes,
on
the other
Tuesday.
night. Yes.
So good. I hadn't seen her since her birthday, I think. It was a couple months. But I did. And I think her mom listens. So
Yes.
hi, Mikey's mom.
Hi, Mikey's mom. And I obviously have been listening to Obituary since her debut. When I started listening to Cult Leader, I was a freshman in college, and now I have just finished my first year of medical school, which was just as wild as it sounds. We talked about this before. She started listening to you and has already gone through medical school.
That's fucking
I know.
wild.
I love it. And I would like to tell you guys about my most traumatic experience in my first year. This traumatic experience was not the inhumane amount of stress, middle school level drama, or even being taught an entire undergrad degree in 2 weeks. It was meeting the family of the person I dissected.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's got to be intense.
I know. It all began the first week of school. Human structure, aka anatomy, is the first course that we take at my school, and this is where medical students dissect cadavers to gain further education on human anatomy. Cadaver lab is vital to our learning because no 2 bodies are the same when you actually get to look inside. I'm talking vasculature, not organs. On the first day of school, school, our professors described what the lab was going to be like, how we would need scrubs that we did not want to keep, eye protection / goggles, can't wear contacts, can't chew gum, and the multiple codes and locks to get into the lab so we could have 24/7 access to the bodies. As someone who had never cut open a dead body before, I was scared. But before we could go into the lab, we had to meet the families of the donors. Over lunch, there were 8 students in my team that would all be learning from the same body. So we all went together to have lunch with our donors' family. That's incredible.
Yeah.
We were prepped with what not to say / ask, and then brought to the study rooms that the family had set up with mementos of our donor. Oh, so it was like really feels probably personal.
Yeah.
There were programs from their funeral, pictures of them with their family, scrapbooks, koozies, and many other little things that were special to the family. We sat and ate lunch with our donor's widowed spouse, children, and grandchildren. For hours, they told stories about family dinners, annual beach vacations, and even witty phrases that our donor loved to say. They talked about how much they loved and missed our donor, and what an amazing person they were. The family told us to think of our donor when we have pizza with our families, see monarch butterflies, and watch my school's undergraduate football team.
Oh.
They told us that our donor was proud to donate themselves to my school and to provide such an indescribable gift to our education. While meeting my donor's family was extremely difficult for me, I wouldn't have had it any other way. We all looked up to them as a grandparent figure, even calling them by their unique grandparent's name, and saw them as our best teacher of the human structure. I don't know why that gives me chills.
Yeah.
I thought about their spouse as I dissected the hand the spouse once held. I thought about the last vacation they took to see the monarch butterfly migration as I dissected their back, and cried while I held their brain for the first time, thinking of the memories of their beautiful family that the organ once held. I think of them often. I will never forget the smell of formaldehyde and the way it made my eyes water, the cracking of the skull to open the cranial vault, the relief in recognizing my donor's body during an exam, the pride in identifying a structure first, the day I ran out of the lab to throw up, the time one of my tank mates cut themselves on a dirty scalpel, he was fine, or the reverence I felt when I held my donor's brain. I will never be able to describe my gratitude for people that donate their bodies to science, and I will never be able to step foot back into anatomy lab for as long as I live. Before my experience scares anyone, it was completely voluntary for the families to meet the students that would be learning from their family member. Most of them found it very therapeutic and healing to get to talk about their loved one, since most of the cadavers had been deceased for many months to years. They talked about how nice it was to answer all of our questions about what their loved one was like, to keep their memory alive, and all my friends that are medical students at other institutions are completely shocked to hear that we met the families of our cadavers. What I experienced is not a common occurrence. I've never heard of that.
That's incredible. No, but it's really cool.
It is really cool. With that, I love when you guys talk about medicine and science on the pod. It is so calming to me because those topics feel like home. If you ever have any questions about medicine, science, specifically biochemistry, or about dissecting cadavers, feel free to reach out. Here's my obligatory hello to the puppies. An apology for the length, but I really could go on and on with stories from the cadaver lab. I am also a scientist and not writer, so I really hope my point got across. I thought you described beautifully.
Yes.
I did my best to hide my identity, school location, and the gender and identity of my donor for the sake of the family's privacy. And if you read this on the pod, to the listeners, I cannot express how grateful I am for everyone that has donated their body to science, plans to, or knows people who have donated. We describe our donors as our first patients. They are the first people we learn to advocate for, take care of, and honor. Thanks for letting me ramble, and just think maybe one day some of the listeners will have an OBGYN that is also a cult babe in Geoff.
I love it.
Please don't tell anyone who I am. I would have used my burner email, but that was too much work. Then they give some explanations for like what disposable scrubs are, eye protection, that sort of thing. But I think I just want to keep it at this beautiful, just the beautiful description.
I love it. Thank you so much for sending that in. And thanks for hanging with me for all those years, all these years.
I know.
Pretty cool.
Really cool. And the coolest thing to me is how they said a donated body, like a cadaver, is their first patient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I think it's so cool.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
All right. Well, I'm up first this week, which means you should have a little side bitch for us.
I do, and it'll make sense once we get into my coffin spinner.
Okay.
But this is for Madam Evelyn. Medium dies a Catholic convert.
Oh.
Asking to be made a member of the Catholic Church on her deathbed, Mrs. Frederick Allen, 405 South 25th Avenue, died of heart failure Monday afternoon after Father Stagno of St. Anne's Church had administered supreme unction. Mrs. Allen was better known as Madam Evelyn, spirit medium. She had practiced as a medium in Omaha for 18 years. 12 years ago, she was said to have predicted the death of city detective Ringer 2 weeks before he was shot and killed while attempting to arrest 2 boxcar thieves in a rooming house. Chief of Police Van Dusen was with Ringer at the time of the shooting. According to her husband, Frederick Allen, the medium had been predicting her death all winter. She is survived besides her husband by 3 sons, Virgil, Leroy, and L.K. McFarland, and daughter Mrs. Frank Snyder, all of Omaha. Mrs. Emos Thompson, another daughter, lives in Denver. Funeral services will be held today at St. Anne's Church. Interment will be in the Holy Sepulchre Cemetery.
Okay.
Little medium girly.
Little medium girly. I can't wait to hear how this is linked.
Uh-huh. That's good.
Very cool.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I'll tell you what had me spinning. Nope. You're going to tell me something, girl.
I'm gonna
tell me.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what had me spinning.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Okay.
And we're back. What had you spinning in your coffin this week, Madison?
Cheese.
Okay. Did you say cheese?
Yes, cheese. Cheese has a pretty.
How the fuck are you tying this in?
I'm tying it in, okay?
Okay.
It's getting tied in. Cheese has a pretty fascinating history as it pertains to death and funerary customs, okay?
I'm like, here we fucking go.
Yeah.
The first cheese was...
No, I'm not going to do that to you guys.
Okay.
Maybe a little, but not really.
Jesus.
Okay. I'm really trying to make this sound educational and smart, but it's fucking cheese. But I have some interesting history here I want to get into pertaining to cheese and death.
Okay.
The thing that made me even look into cheese was because
Damn it.
this is almost worse than me talking about toilets. It's going to make sense, you guys. Cheese is really important. I stumbled upon a few articles that...
Stumbled upon a few... What were you looking up?
I don't remember.
I stumbled upon a few articles about cheese.
Cheese.
Sure.
I love cheese. I do love cheese, but when I think about it too much, it grosses me out.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. Okay. So there's this little town in Switzerland, and there's articles that have been written about how cheese is a really important thing at their funerals there. I believe that the first article was featured on Atlas Obscura by Molly McDonough. I hope I'm saying your last name right, Molly. I'll link the articles because this person actually visited this little town, and I'll be pulling from her articles on this as well as a few others. But first, cheese dates back thousands of years, okay? Greek mythology references it, as well as the Roman Empire, parts of Egypt and
What's your
Asia,
favorite-
and so on.
Top 3 favorite cheeses.
Oh, I love a pepper jack.
Okay.
I love a string cheese.
Yes, you do.
And I love just a melty cheddar.
Like an American kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tillamook.
Yeah.
Anything Tillamook.
Ooh, yep.
Yep. What about you?
Okay. Top 3, love a goat cheese.
You do love a goat cheese.
I love goat cheese. That's number 3, though.
Okay.
Second place, we're going to give, and this is a current obsession, is a good smoky Gouda.
Makes me want to puke. I have a vivid memory when I was a kid, actually, I loved the sound of music.
Okay, you've had it recently, but I want to hear this.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you have.
When have I had Gouda?
That white pizza that I get has smoky Gouda on it.
It does?
That's the smoky cheese flavor.
I always pull off the ricotta because ricotta I used to like and then ate too much of it. But smoked Gouda, I loved it as a kid. But I have a vivid memory after a soccer game, coming home, popping in the sound of music, love the sound of music, and eating so much smoked Gouda that I could not eat it for years.
Really?
Really?
Okay, I love the smokiness it gives like a pizza when there's smoked Gouda on it.
Okay.
Or a burger with smoked Gouda on it is also really good.
Okay.
And then number one, because I eat it the most. Actually, there's
Parmesan?
2 cheeses I eat the most. Parmesan I do eat a lot
I
of.
forgot to say Parmesan.
She's just like a staple, like salt and pepper Parmesan. Like you can't.
Yeah.
You know? But I get the Tillamook sharp cheddar.
Yeah.
And I always have a huge fuck up. I don't give a fuck. The prices in that sucker have gone up and up and up. I think I'm paying
know.
$18 for a block of it now. I will pay $50.
Cisco made burgers this weekend and did brioche buns, and then he had the Tillamook sliced sharp cheddar, and it was just divine.
Yeah,
So good.
really good.
All right. Well, cheese. When I think of cheese, I do think of Switzerland. The Swiss are famous for their cheese.
Always saying that.
I am. I'm always saying that. That's just what I say. I read that they have 450 types of cheeses and that the dairy industry is the largest component of Swiss agriculture. It makes up about a quarter of the total agricultural output. And throughout history in the Swiss Alps, the winters were very long and cold, and they had to preserve their dairy somehow. So they would turn their dairy into butter, cottage cheese, which commonly known, I guess, like traditionally, it's known as cork, and big cheese wheels. Because of
You know, I love a cheese wheel. And when I went to my friend Haley's wedding last year, her husband's Sicilian, and they had this pasta.
Ooh.
And like their hors d'oeuvre was they would spin the pasta on the cheese wheel, and everyone got like a little cup of it. It was delicious.
It's so good. Oh,
Yes. I mean, how could you go wrong?
how could you go wrong with a noodle and cheese?
Come on.
Oh my God, honey. So they would make these big cheese wheels, and because of the very cold climate, a cheese wheel especially would age really, really well over the years. And I even read that centuries ago, sometimes people were paid in cheese as a substitute for actual money.
Oh,
I would love that.
okay.
In the 1990s, though, anthropologists were super intrigued to find that a little village in Grimentz, Switzerland, had this rare funeral tradition where they would save a wheel of cheese specifically to be served at their own funeral. The cheese is typically made like specifically for that person and then gifted to them to hold on to until their death. Some cheese wheels had dates and little etchings stamped into them.
I love that.
Isn't that cool?
I think that's sick.
These cheeses were usually given pretty early on in life. I read an article that Molly also wrote for culturecheesemag.com that a wheel of cheese was given at baptisms, but most of the time it seemed to be like a wedding gift. And then you would store it in your family's basement for hopefully a really long time. This cheese, according to what I read, would be as hard as a fucking rock when it was time to serve it. Posthumously. A regular cheese knife would not cut it. You needed like an axe or a saw to even get into this cheese wheel. And it also tasted horrific. So guests would have a little bit of the cheese at your funeral and then throw back Switzerland's oldest wine called Vin des Glaciers or rock glacier wine. And apparently this wine is often the choice at funerals there. Also, in Molly's article for atlasobscura.com, she says, quote, after a death, the bells of the deceased's cows were removed so that the animals too could mourn. Families added a picnic of the dead to the casket, which included a bottle of wine, bread, and cheese, as well as sturdy boots, as ghosts were rumored to wander the glaciers after dark. I
love that
picnic basket.
Okay.
I think think that's so cute. This tradition, I guess, sort of faded away in the 21st century as the area began to advance. However, Molly was lucky enough to go to the village of Grimence, like I said earlier, and got to interview a man named Jean-Jacques Zuffery, who had a basement full of funeral cheese wheels. He talks about in the article that, quote, his family, too, had forgotten about their funeral cheeses until his grandmother died in 1944. That's when Zuffery's father found 2 very old wheels in her basement. It goes on to say, instead of eating the cheeses, whose engravings suggest a production year of 1870, Zuffery's father decided to preserve them. In the years since, the family has added wheels from time to time, building a collection. Rather than prepping for a funeral, they're dutifully preserving evidence of a waning tradition and what might be some of the world's oldest wheels of cheese. Zuffery picks one of the wheels, which is now 149 years old, from the shelf. You can touch it, like a relic in the church, he quips. Rock hard and leathery with a glossy brown surface reminiscent of a bog body. It's still a bit oily, but sapped of moisture.
How I'm trying to be this summer.
Oh my God, why was I thinking I want to be described as that? Its own microbes and molds are likely long deceased. He picks up another from 1967 engraved with Edelweiss flowers. A third from 1992 depicts a queen cow. So there's like artwork etched into these and dates, and like they were so personal.
I think that's
to
so
the
cool.
person.
I love like a personalized touch to a funeral, and I just love tradition.
So do I.
I feel like we need more funeral traditions here.
Yeah. Let's go get a wheel of cheese.
Why not?
I think we totally should. I definitely want one for my funeral.
Oh my God, put it in my casket with me.
Oh, yes.
It's like a munch on
Munch
it.
away. Okay, well, we'll get into that in a second. But I was also, just on every cheese fucking website researching this topic. But I found out that in the 1900s, there was a Swiss cheese union formed in Switzerland.
Okay.
But it's also known as the Swiss cheese cartel.
Oh shit, I don't want to fuck with them.
Okay, they were essentially a cartel. They controlled production, pricing, and export of Swiss cheese. The union was dissolved in 1999, but do you remember that restaurant called The Melting Pot?
Yeah, I've been there plenty of times and I love it.
I love it too, but I remember in high school, like that was considered like a fucking fancy date. It was like, it's for those of you that don't know.
Is there one down here?
There used to be one in Irvine.
We should try and see if there's one down here and try and go next weekend.
It was fucking bomb.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then the dessert.
Oh my God, all the chocolate. Oh, it was. But it's funny to me that it was so fancy to me, but the Swiss cheese cartel are who to blame for making fondue like some fancy fucking thing. Cheese fondue is traditionally something that comes from Switzerland, but like the chocolate fondue and stuff is totally American.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We have a tendency to do that here.
Yes.
But also, I feel like fondue, I don't think of fancy necessarily. I think of like 70s. Like 60s, 70s. I feel like it was all the rage.
I'm so happy that you said that because I'll tell you why it was all the rage.
Tell me.
Okay, because of the Swiss cheese cartel, because they were controlling production of cheese, the kinds of cheeses and exporting limitations, there was a lot of Swiss cheese in Switzerland that was like not being sold. So the cartel, backed by the Swiss government, put out a ton of ads in the 60s and 70s.
Are you kidding me?
No, of like beautiful men and women partying, all wearing like ski clothes, like they had just been out skiing and were rich. And like they're all gathered around a big pot of cheese fondue. And these ads apparently spread like wildfire, and cheese fondue became a staple across the world. In turn, increased the sale of Swiss cheese like a shit ton. A cheese cartel.
That blows my mind, but it also shows how strong their marketing campaign worked because me, who was born
in
the late 70s, was like the late 60s, was
you knew.
Privy to it. I fucking knew. You knew.
You knew.
I knew. I feel like it was all the rage.
Well, you can thank the cartel for that.
Oh, thank you, cartel.
Okay, lastly, cheese and death is not just for the Swiss. I found an article on
Put that on a bulletin.
Yeah, put that in our book of quotes. An article from burialsandbeyond.com states, quote, in Welsh funerals of the 18th century, before taking the body to the church, it was customary to give a poor person of the parish some money, bread, drink, and cheese with a coin stuck in it. Then they go on to say, in the Encyclopedia of Superstitions, Folklore, and Occult Sciences, a Scottish superstition is recorded that covers both ends of life. When a child was born, a cheese was made which remained untouched for the duration of their life and is first cut at the individual's funeral. To accompany this, a local wealthy man will bring large amounts of wine, a glass of which is placed on the coffin. The wine within this is referred to as dead wine, whereby the mourners approach, take the goblets in their hands, touch the coffin with it, and drink the contents to a future meeting with the departed. Lastly, cheese was discovered in an ancient Egyptian tomb a few years ago. The tomb was that of a high-ranking guy from the 13th century BC Egypt, but I'll post a picture of the cheese, but it was found on some jars in his tomb, and it was described as a white mass until archaeologists tested it and determined that it was cheese from 3,200 years ago, made from goat and sheep milk. But an even older cheese was found in China, and this cheese dates back 3,800 years ago. The princess of Zhaohe, she was like a hot mummy and had pretty hair and eyelashes still, but she was buried with clumps of cheese all over her as like a grave good for the afterlife. And apparently that's the oldest preserved cheese in the world.
Wow. The more you know.
Who would have known? Cheese.
Who'd have thunk?
Yeah, and that's it for cheese.
All right. Well, we're going to go take a little snack break. And when we come back, I'll tell you what had me spinning in my coffin. We'll be right back.
And we're back. Spencer, what had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Lilydale had me spinning in my coffin this week.
What's that?
Well, I came across one of the strangest little towns. Technically, they call themselves an island because there's lakes on either side in the world. And it is actually in New York, and it's called Lilydale. And it's about 60 miles south of Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, when I first started looking into it, I was like, is this a cult?
Oh.
And so I was like, okay, well, I'm watching this documentary I found because either way,
You're like, where do I put this?
Yeah, it's going towards one of the shows. I feel like it's fitting here. And the documentary is called No One Dies in Lilydale. And it is so interesting. It's supposedly available on HBO or Max or whatever, but I couldn't pull it up there, so I ended up renting it on Amazon Prime. The town or hamlet, it's called, of Lilydale was established in 1879, and since then has become the largest center for spiritualism in the world.
Oh.
I did a way more in-depth episode of Cult Leader on these sisters called the Fox Sisters.
I remember, yes.
And the rise of spiritualism. So if you want more of a deep dive, go listen to that. But in total, there are 40 mediums that live here in this little place. There's like 249 residents or something, and 40 of them are
mediums?
Yes. And
cool. And it's just like a normal town? Like there's
Yes. Okay. And all the people, it's kind of abnormal. We'll talk about that. But all of these mediums have been vetted by this board of directors that they have. And this dates way back. So it's not like anyone can just move there who thinks they're a medium. It's like you got to pass some test. And it is not an easy feat. In October of 2023, the New York Times actually reported on 3 women, Madeleine Scorbesha, Barbara Robinson, and Linda Struble. And these 3 women filed a lawsuit against Lilydale because they said that they completed dozens of readings and demonstrations back in April of 2022 under the, quote, rigorous application process, but we're told that they did not pass because they only had like an 82% passing rate when they needed 85 to be able to
Well, I like
join.
that.
Yeah, but there was some like weird discrepancy where they don't talk about it in the documentary, but they talk about it in this article from the New York Times. And I guess like in the handbook or something, when you're applying to move there as a medium, they say it's like an 82%. But then when the women got that, they were like, no, it's 85.
Oh.
So I don't know.
Well, they didn't see it coming.
They didn't see it coming. People literally travel from all over the world to visit Lilydale, and they have been since the 1800s in hopes of connecting with their loved ones on the other side.
Cool.
From Lilydale's official website, quote, we are an international member organization and residential community comprised of persons who practice the faith of spiritualism. Spiritualism is an active faith guided by a set of principles. This faith is applied through prayer, meditation, healing, and mediumship. We have members from across the globe who can participate and contribute to our organization through education, service, active participation, contemplation, or as donors. Our community and its organization is governed by a set of bylaws and rules and regulations. Lilydale Assembly members can be residents, volunteers, summer program participants, and as members have the right to vote at our annual meeting. Our Lilydale Assembly members are ambassadors of Lilydale and the religion of spiritualism within their own communities. The documentary is cool because there's like personal stories and testimonies with some of the people visiting and getting messages from their loved ones. And also a lot of interviews with the mediums themselves who live there.
Okay.
As for more of how this all came to be, back in the 1870s, a lot of spiritualists and quote unquote free thinkers would gather to camp during the summer.
Okay.
On the grounds where Lilydale eventually came to be. Again, it was incorporated in 1879, but at that point in time, it wasn't Lilydale. It was the Casadaga Lake Free Association, a camp and meeting place for spiritualists. And the name was changed eventually to the City of Light in 1903, and then finally to the Lilydale Assembly in 1906. And the purpose of Lilydale was to, quote, further the science, philosophy, and religion of spiritualism. And so, I don't know. I'm going to go kind of all over the place because I took a lot of notes during the documentary, but then I also was looking stuff up while I was watching it. But these gals I loved. Okay, there was these three sisters, and they're all mediums.
Okay.
And they live in Lilydale. Like all
Okay.
three of them live in this community. I mean, regardless of like skepticism or whatever, it's cool because they all live there and they're on camera. The cameras are just kind of following them live their lives. And they're like, oh, mom has been hanging out over by that green thing over there, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh my God, yes, I was going to tell you, I saw her the other day. She was over there and blah, blah. It's just cool.
And the mom's dead.
Yeah, the mom's deceased. It felt like you're watching like Bewitched or something, but it's like real, you know?
I love that.
I thought it was really cool.
I wonder if there's any fights among the other mediums. Like, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
I mean, I would imagine, but also at the same time, it seems like a lot of it is just like some of the mediums were talking like, oh yeah, you'll just be walking down the street and your neighbor will be like, hey, your aunt's been following you lately. And I'm just like, it feels like a Halloween town or something, and I love it.
So cool. Wait, I love that so much.
I know, it's cool. And so I guess there was this couple, Marion and Thomas Skidmore, who were this wealthy couple, and they were kind of around in the beginning when it was getting established. And they used their money to put together a library, which was initially in a tent, and then later they brought all of it inside of a brick building, which was built, and it still stands there today.
Okay.
And I guess inside there's lots of like old books on the occult and newspaper archive of papers from the time that focused on spiritualism. Because spiritualism, like as a religion, as we know, developed kind of in the 1800s. They came around at the same time as like the Quakers and all these other little offshoots of organized religion.
Right.
But theirs was just so focused on kind of mediumship and some of it in the occult. It's just this mystical little town. And what's interesting is that You can live there, like you can buy a home, but it's called a leasehold. Like you technically don't own the land because you have to be like within good standing of them in order to like stay.
Oh, wow.
So they don't allow mortgages.
What?
And again, it's sort of this intense vetting process. You need letters of recommendation. You have to meet with the board to discuss your intentions and interest in living there. It's like a very who's who
process,
yeah.
too. What does it look like?
Cute. Like it looks
Cute little
like
town?
Yeah, the houses are cute. It looks, I mean, there was aspects of it that reminded me of definite East Coast vibes, like with the housing styles and stuff. Like some of the neighborhoods in Salem, it kind of reminds me of a little bit. Not like, oh, spooky, but like just the old houses and stuff that are there.
Did they have
we'll get
big
into
chain stores and stuff?
We'll get into what's there. There's a lot to love about Lilydale, but it's no surprise there's been some serious controversy over the years. Some claiming it's a town full of frauds.
Oh.
And the documentary highlights this as well. So it does show people who went there and saw a medium, and then they come out and they're like, no, that was not it. That was not real. Like kind of debunk it a little bit because they feel like they got a cold reading.
My first thought is, who cares? Let them live this.
Let them live.
His fantasy.
I mean, all of me is obsessed with the idea of this, right? Like, I love a kitschy town. I mean, Salem. Salem's such a kitschy town, but love it.
Right.
But I can't really catch a vibe for Lilydale. Parts of it seem so rad to me. It seems like, I know you haven't watched Gilmore Girls, but it seems like a Stars Hollow for those of you who have.
Okay.
Like this little town that's very charming, full of wacky characters.
Okay.
But the emphasis on spirituality as an organized religion gives it kind of a culty feel sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It takes away from kind of like the mysticism of it, and it makes it so much more of like a factual thing based in religion. And that was kind of like a turnoff to me a little bit.
Right.
Not that it's wrong, but it's just like,
that's just your opinion.
It's just my opinion. I think what bothers me is that where spiritualism originated from, and we'll get to that in a second, but I would love to go there and see it for myself. And I think if we have the opportunity or we're near there ever, we should try and go.
Who can we contact? Like, do they do tours?
No, you can go. It's open to the public. And you can just go book appointments with mediums. You can stay there. There's hotels there and stuff.
Cool.
They're kind of like bed and breakfast looking places.
Cute.
I would like to see it because also they say that the energy is just crazy there.
Okay.
Very strong.
Okay.
That's why I was saying, I'll bring up the class I took last night because I told you this already, but Geoff's, I went to that yoga thing and the instructor there does Reiki, and she came over and just picture it's like dark. I'm laying there on the ground, just so cozy. And she comes and she starts doing some Reiki like on my head and above my chest. And I called Madison on the way home because I was like, you know, when you go do something like that, sometimes I feel like you will yourself to feel something because you want to just be like, you want to feel it. Like you want to have that experience. But the physical sensation that I felt when she was doing it was so wild because I didn't think it was that real. I didn't think it was that real. And it was like swooshing around in my head. Like,
weird.
And it was so bizarre because I'm like, how are you doing that? Because you're not even touching me. You know what I mean? And my eyes aren't even open. And she was so quiet. I didn't even know she was there at first. And then I just feel this like sensation. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is wild. Other places that I feel like have really good energy. So Palm Springs, I feel like the energy is so different there.
The energy is healing there. I don't know what the fuck it is.
And the air, it's just I feel so much better when I'm there.
I'm automatically,
relaxed. And then also Zion, which I've been to quite a few times.
I've heard, you rave about it.
I love it. And it has also like a very special energy to it. And then I want to add Sedona to my list. I'd really like to go to Sedona, and I'd really like to go to Santa Fe, New Mexico, because I feel like people talk about like energy vortexes.
I'd love to go to New Mexico.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like it'd be really cool. Unlike Salem in this way, they're very like anti-gimmick. They're like, no Ouija boards, none of that. Like
they don't dress like witches or anything.
Well, they dress actually some of them dress kind of wild. Like most of the women there I feel like are in their like 60s, 70s, 80s, and like they have wild hats and stuff. They do.
This reminds me of like a town I would have made on The Sims. Like, you know?
I'll show you part of the documentary and we'll grab some
Okay.
screenshots of it for the episode post. But they talk about like how anti-gimmick they are, but then they do this thing where I think it's a bunch of tourists that are in there with one of the mediums, and there's this table, like a circular table, and they all put their hands on it.
A
And
seance?
it's called, I think, like the tipping table or something. They all have their hands on it and they're supposedly moving it with energy, but it's very much the same idea as using a Ouija board because it's like all based on their hands, and they eventually knock the table over or whatever. But I'm like, that is gimmicky.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, I loved. They showed they have a little pet cemetery there. And I wanted to learn more about it, so I pulled this from their website. It says, the Lilydale Pet Cemetery honors our beloved pets that have crossed over to spirit. Pets are much loved in Lilydale, and the residents have made a lovely spot in the Leland Woods, a spiritual place to honor their loved companions. The legend is that on February 13th, 1900, the Lilydale Pet Cemetery was created when horses fell through the ice on Cassadaga Lake during ice harvesting.
Oh, wow.
These horses were eventually taken from the icy waters and transported up South Street to the Leoland Woods. Topsy, who was a beloved pet and worker for Lilydale, is buried in the pet cemetery. And then they have some other things on their website, like things you can check out in town. So there's the Lilydale Museum, and it's an 1890 one-room schoolhouse that is now houses the museum. And there's pictures in there, lots of memorabilia. They have a huge display, I guess, of items from the Fox family.
Oh.
That's one of the things I do have a gripe with, and I have to call it out, because the Fox sisters are responsible for spiritualism because they apparently made contact with a spirit, and it was through knocking, basically.
Okay.
They became famous. This started in upstate New York, I think near Rochester, and they are why spiritualism is a thing, because these two young girls apparently could contact spirits. But later on, one of them ended up like admitting that it was a hoax.
Okay.
Then they were kind of found out as frauds.
Okay.
But regardless, spiritualism and mediumship took off from there.
Okay.
So that's kind of, it's all really rooted with the Fox sisters.
Okay.
So the fact that like they base some of their truths on like the Fox sisters, I'm like, yeah. But then they still have this is the Marion Skidmore Library now.
Oh, pretty.
And it kind of reminds me of like one of the buildings on Harvard's grounds.
Yeah.
And then they have actually this here. It says the Fox Cottage, the birthplace of modern spiritualism, was purchased by Mr. B.F. Bartlett and moved to Lilydale as a matter of preservation and a memorial to spiritualism in the Fox sisters. So they actually took the cottage that the Fox sisters started in and brought it. They shipped it across Lake Ontario to Buffalo and then trucked it to Lilydale and reassembled the cabin on the property there. But unfortunately, the cottage burned to the ground in 1955, and they've since turned it into this memorial and meditation garden open year-round for visitors. But those are kind of like some of the highlights you can see there, and apparently you can get through the town pretty quickly. It'd definitely be like a day trip or something.
Okay.
But I think it'd be really fucking cool.
I want to go.
I know. That's kind of like the gist. I was looking for just kind of more inside information, so where else but Reddit? Somebody posted in Reddit, how many of you have been to Lilydale? I want to make a trip soon, blah, blah, blah. And someone said, my grandmother owned 3 different houses there in succession. Finally got her dream house right on the lake. As kids, my brothers, cousins, and I all spent our summers there. It's a magical place, like entering the 1930s or 1940s as soon as you pass through the gates. The mediums can be hit or miss. My father, who was trained as a medium, said you just can't turn it on or off at will. It's like any other skill, and some people are gifted, others not so much. It was wonderful as a kid just having the run of the place without modern worries of stranger danger or anything else. The beach and the fishing, muscaline in that lake, much to my horror after realizing the teeth they had and all the times we went swimming. The pagoda, which might have another name now, 7 cents would buy you a popsicle. If I remember correctly, the land is leased from the local Indian tribe at $1 for 99 years lease. And so the houses are on a leasehold. And so I started looking into that more. And I do believe it is on like indigenous ground.
Oh.
And so that might be part of it, but also most places make it seem like it is part of just the
town rules.
Yeah, because you also have to pay dues to the Lilydale Assembly, and you can't buy anything there unless you're part of the spiritualist church for at least 1 year, because they don't want people coming in and kind of changing the vibes of the town.
Okay.
Someone else had posted about it. Like, have you guys ever been here? And the comments on this post were a little different. Someone was like, all fake. I worked there.
Oh.
And then someone else said, I live 10 minutes from Lilydale. A lot of people really believe the hype and or practice, even politically conservative ones. In my experience, there's a crossover between Catholics and spiritualism that is just fascinating. Religious syncretism, is that the term I'm looking for? Transference? I don't know. It's about as similar as you can get for the polar opposite. Someone else said, been there twice, once in 89. The reader was so off the mark, it was comical. Again, in 2017, made online reservations with a reader. She obviously internet searched using Fast People Search or other sites because she knew every relative and even old phone numbers. Fake as fuck. I'm tempted to try again and use a fake name. So, you know what? There's skepticism around it, but there's also, all of me loves that there's just this town. And as far as the documentary goes, it's an inside glimpse for sure. I wish it had gone a little more showing the town more and gotten more into the history. But the more I researched, I kept coming across again how much it ties back to the Fox sisters, which again, covered on Cult Leader. They are responsible for spiritualism and turned out to be frauds. But all in all, I still love that a place like this exists.
Me too.
It makes me so happy. And I'm like,
just let them live their life.
Let them live there. I want to move there. And
Me
too.
too.
Just call it a day.
I would love it if someone was like, your grandma's right behind you.
Uh-huh.
Like,
just walking around town.
Cool.
But there's one who's always wrong. And they're
Yeah.
like, to you, they're like, your stepdad's here. You're like, I don't have one.
I don't have one. Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. Well, thank you. Now I want to go.
I know.
Very cool.
So there you have it.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Sure. Should we get into some obituaries?
Let's do it. I have an obituary / death notice from NBCnews.com.
Okay.
From last year, it says, the owner of a cheese factory in northern Italy has died after he was crushed when thousands of his cheese wheels fell on him.
No.
Giacomo Chiapparini, 74, a local producer of Grana Padano, a Parmesan-style hard cheese that is popular in Italy,
Oh, yeah.
was in his warehouse near Bergamo on Sunday evening, tending to 15,000 cheese wheels that were aging. All of a sudden, a 30-foot-high shelf holding the wheels, which weighs about 20 kilograms, or about 44 pounds, gave way. That created a domino effect that sent the massive wheels flying and ultimately burying their maker.
Death by cheese.
Bortolo Gisolati, a friend and neighbor of the victims, said that he and his son Tiziano, 50, went to the warehouse after a machine that cleans the cheese wheels from the mold sent an alarm signal. These machines clean and rotate the wheels, so when they find them even slightly out of place, they send a warning. It's a common problem, so Giacomo and his son went there to adjust the wheels. Gisolati said that after they fixed the problem, Chiapparini's son left the warehouse while his father restarted the machine. Seconds later, everything fell on him. Tiziano told me he heard a massive noise. He turned around and saw his father buried under thousands of cheese wheels. He knows that if he got out seconds later, he would be dead too.
Jeez.
The fire brigade was called and arrived within minutes, but there was little it could do to save Chiapparini. When we got there, the whole warehouse was full of cheese wheels on top of one another. We had to call the unit that specializes in the search and rescue of people under rubble, especially after an earthquake. They spent hours moving the wheels by hand, one by one, and found his body only in the morning. Gisolati, who is also the president of the local farming district, called it an inexplicable tragedy. Something like this has never happened, even during the earthquake in Emilia-Romagna in 2012. Thousands of wheels fell back then due to the tremors, but nobody got killed, he said. Authorities will now have to establish what caused the shelf to collapse and whether Chiapparini was crushed to death or died of asphyxiation.
Jeez.
Oh my God. Isn't that sad?
That is sad.
Really sad.
Way to go.
I know.
Wow. Well, I have one that was sent to us from a Geoff, and they wrote, "Hi, I was recently introducing a friend to your podcast." And thank you. We love when you guys introduce
We
your friends.
love it.
Please keep doing it. On our trip home from vacation. Later, she read me an obituary of someone from her hometown, and I thought it needed to be shared with you and all the Geoffs. Love your show, Geoff Kristen. Thank you, Geoff Kristen.
Thank you.
And this one actually, I put this in our notes, but I was looking at our email, which is obitpod@gmail.com. Other people had started sending it to us, so I feel like it's on its way.
Okay.
It's making a name for itself.
But we got it sent from someone who knows this person.
Well, from their hometown.
Very cool.
This is the obituary for Valerie Ann Smith.
Aww.
Pretty gal here.
Gal.
Young. Valerie Ann Smith, aged 39, of Meadows of Dan, passed away peacefully at her home on June 20th, 2024, surrounded by family. After months of fighting, I have finally won my battle against renal medullary carcinoma and now sit at the feet of Jesus. I have been blessed to live my final 4 years in an old farmhouse in Meadows of Dan with my best friend and devoted husband, Denny Kelvin Smith Jr., and our youngest children. And then it lists their 3 children. It says, my oldest daughter has flown the nest and resides in East Bend, North Carolina. I am joining my mama, Virginia, and I leave on earth my parents, Thomas Rose and Stephanie Steelman, as well as siblings, remaining grandparents, aunts, uncles, and the rest of my family. Between meeting the locals and enjoying this beautiful area, my time in Meadows of Dan has been abundantly blessed. Some of the most compassionate people live here, and part of what makes this small town so special and unique. I finally met my tribe of moms who forever changed my life, and I found my church home, Grace Baptist Church in Stort, Virginia. Death at 39 years of age was never in my 5 or 10-year plan, or even my 15 or 20-year plan, especially not with 3 babies still at home, in the best years of my marriage and at the height of my career. This whole ordeal has taken so much from my family, but it has taught me some very valuable insights. One of the most important lessons this journey has taught me is that your plans and God's plans rarely align. So remember, when you're making your plans, they really are tentative. Focus on not holding grudges, because holding a grudge is only putting you in a sour mood. When's the last time you really let your friends know how much you appreciate them and invested your time in them? Your life would look a lot different without them in it, you know? If you still have your spouse with you on the earth side, spend time with them. Imagine sitting in the shoes of my husband, who wishes he just had a bit more time with his wife and children together. Spend time with your kids, put your phone down, pause your work and give them a hug. Tell them how proud you are of them, love all over them, and invest quality time with them. Go out regularly and see and experience things and sights with them. They need you. Most of all, I encourage you, if you haven't already, find a church home. I struggled for years to find somewhere that felt like home. I needed somewhere that I could wear what I was comfortable wearing. I needed a church that would actually open the Bible and read and teach from it. I needed a pastor, not a preacher. I needed a church family. If you're reading this, there's at least one chair open now in the front row at Grace Baptist Church. It's my favorite place to sit. There are other seats too, but you're welcome to find your way to Grace and use that one. You'll feel right at home. To my friends and family, thank you. I hope to see you again. With all my love, Valerie Ann Smith. In lieu of flowers, I ask that donations be made directly to the Chris Johnson Foundation, the only foundation dedicated solely to researching and funding to fight the rare disease of renal medullary carcinoma. Contributions can be sent by visiting chrisjohnsonfoundation.org/donations. And then it lists the memorial.
Beautiful.
But I thought I love a self-written, as do you, and so fucking young.
But good life advice.
Good life advice. And you know what? So often, what I love about these self-written obituaries is that it proves, because a lot of them are similar in their sentiment, like, stop worrying about shit. Like, that's not what matters. Like, spend time with your friends, spend time with your family.
Right.
Because that is clearly true, because this is what people are reflecting on in their final moments of life.
Right.
And it's kind of like, you know how like when you're younger, everyone's like, start saving. And then you get older and you're like, fuck, I should have listened to them. I should have started saving earlier. Yeah. It's like the sooner you do take advantage of that and like go out and see things and experience life, it's just, that's where it's at.
And stop worrying.
Yeah, stop worrying about the bullshit. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
You know? But
I will be always filming, but
yeah,
we will be filming the stove. But
I will be returning to my house about seconds after we leave to make sure it's not flooding, but
but nothing else we're gonna worry about.
No.
That was beautiful. I loved that.
I thought it was really nice.
Oh, should we get into some not so nice things?
We have spun in our coffins.
We have bitched our obituaries.
Means it's time for some dumb
Ass criminals.
I got a hiccup.
A hiccup?
Criminals.
Oh my gosh, this is from The Times, Friday, October 19th, 1934. Cheese bandits held for theft on nickel plate. Cheese bandits, and that's no figurative description of two young Hessville men who are being held in custody today by Hammond police. These cheese bandits are Leonard Hip, 21, 6833 Colorado Avenue, and Mike Opperman, 20, 7037 Arkansas Avenue, according to Captain of Detectives Charles Carlson. The two are held on a charge of breaking into a nickel plate railroad boxcar and stealing 50 pounds of South American imported cheese, which they buried in a vacant lot near their homes. The cheese was smelled out by patrolman Bert Lightcap, Frank O'Donnell, Carl Etter, and Ralph Kramer, which quartet made the arrests.
That's funny. I mean, it's funny because it's a cheese arrest, but it's funny because my side bitch mentioned a boxcar as well.
Oh, yeah. Psychic.
Same level.
Yep.
And speaking of psychics, listen to this. This is from the Palm Beach Post, November 14th, 2013. Boca Raton. A Boca Raton-based psychic was arrested Tuesday and faces 2 felony charges after she allegedly stole more than $100,000 from a woman by claiming the woman was cursed and would get cancer if she didn't turn over the money, according to a probable cause affidavit. Stephanie Thompson, 23, is facing charges of grand theft over $100,000 and organized fraud over $50,000. She was released from the Palm Beach County Jail on Wednesday after posting a $40,000 bond. So this fucking psychic was like, you're gonna get cursed with cancer. You know what? Fuck her, because
That's fucked up.
it's kind of like the chainmail phenomenon where, like, remember you used to get those emails that were like,
Yes.
if you don't pass this on,
Yes.
someone's going to appear at your door. And now it's on fucking
Now it's
TikTok,
on
where
TikTok.
they're like and claim this or bad luck for a year.
Oh, fuck you.
Fuck you. Go fuck yourself, you evil.
Evil.
But telling someone you're cursed and you're going to get cancer,
Yeah.
fuck you.
That's really evil.
And you're only 23 years old. You better fucking hope your life is healthy and nice. because That's some bad karma if I've ever heard it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think that's it for the week. But go to obituarypodcast.com, secure your tickets for the tour before they sell out. We are so fucking excited.
So excited. I'm ready to get on the road.
Come meet us. They're all fun cities, and just come.
Just come.
Yeah, who cares? Come over to LA or San Francisco or Tulsa or
Or
Texas.
two places in Texas.
Meet us in
Come on.
Texas. It's on a weekend, I think.
Yeah,
Texas.
come on.
Come to Austin. That's going to be fucking fun.
Yeah.
In Houston, we loved last time.
Yep.
Okay.
Can't wait.
So we'll see you there, and we'll see you next week with some more coffin spinners
Oh, and obituaries.
and dumb
Ask
criminals. Goodbye.
Goodbye.